into like Sven and the Omni Knight, you know, these melee heroes, it's going to do a lot of work. So a lot of pressure right now on Maposhka to really kind of showcase what Disruptor can do in what is kind of like a perfect Disruptor game.
It really is pressure, right? Because I don't imagine, given all the interviews, pre-game, post-game interviews that we've seen with Maposhka, I don't imagine him to be a captain that rules with an iron fist like Puppey. You know, I don't see him going, no, you do not get last pick. I get last pick. I am going to be the most impactful hero in this game. You know, I just don't see him as that kind of person.
Oh, is he
but
get first
nice
blood?
Move here from Team Spirit, and is very likely going to be first blood here as 2 is dead. And now it's a question whether or not Tokyo is going to go into the grave as well. A nice hit from Collapse, hitting 2 with the God's Rebuke. And Amar, ATF, he's in deep, and he is all the way committed at this point. That's going to be a second kill for Team Spirit. Their early smoke gank didn't actually quite work, but, you know, that sneaky little maneuver paid off some serious dividends. 2 kills, first blood, 2 bounties as well. A nice start for Team Spirit, who are already in this group stage in the lead. It's Creepwave who needs do or die a win here.
Yeah, that's the key thing here. Like when you look at the score, Creepwave's currently sitting at 0, 1, and 2, where they play Team Spirit and then Virtus Pro after that. So like getting the win here against Spirit, you know, clawing them back down into some, you know, bottom 2 contention, that's Creepwave's only hope really to get out of elimination. And in Team Spirit, they got to play Creepwave, and then they got to play last place currently in the group stage, Thunder Predator. So Spirit's kind of got the easier road here. But yeah, a lot of emphasis right now on Creepwave. If they have any chance of getting out of bottom 2, they have to beat that team already holding that 4th spot right now, which is Spirit, their opponent.
Now, how many games have you guys casted on the mainstream of Creepwave?
None. This is the first showing of Creepwave on the mainstream.
Okay, well, I'm sure, like me, you have been keeping an eye on the B stream and stuff. What is your impression so far of Hansha, who's also apparently supposed to be known as BZM God, but accidentally put the wrong name into the Dota registry? And once you do that, by the way, it locks. You can't undo that. So we'll be calling him Hansha, but sometime in the future, you'll be seeing him known as BZM God, apparently. What's your impression of him so far?
I think, like, Creepwave as a team has this aura of just, like, jovial confidence, which is what carries them through these open qualifiers, and he's kind of slotted into that mentality really quickly. And you know, I haven't really been able to watch, you know, enough specifically on him individually, but I think he's merged well into the team already, where he's able, like, look at the first 2 bans. I think one of the bans was Invoker, for example. Like, he's already dictating the bans of the opponent, and like, he's looking like a good fit. But I think this series here will be kind of I'm going to just basically be focusing on him, really, because he is like a brand new player, right? Like, before this team, I've never heard of him. I didn't even see him on any other team. So yeah, this specific series will be kind of my eye-opener for Hansha specifically.
Yeah, this matchup as well is going to be vitally important. The new Queen of Pain, which is supposed to be stronger in lane at being able to trade hits thanks to the heal that comes from Shadow Strike. But it's up against Void Spirit, the hero that is most picked right now at ESL One Fall and the most successful as well. Like, this hero is on a serious tear, and it's Tokyo Void Spirit, which is just an added little boost there as well.
Yeah, he is a machine on the hero, and that's why he's going to have to use a Dissimulate to try and dodge from the dagger. And you know, there will be some cute dodges there. It's actually kind of hard though, because if Queen of Pain just walks straight into the wave, you know, it's going to be very minute time to be able to dodge that spell.
Yeah, and certainly right now, Hansha's doing a good job. 13-5 compared to the Void Spirit's 12-2. Top lane, we were kind of expecting this Troll Disruptor. A lot of spam, maybe enough to be able to push back ATF, but right now he's farming very well. For an offlaner, 13-0 with a bunch of creeps pushing into him. This is going great so far for the Tide.
Yeah, and you see that's mainly because of Chu on the line. Like, he just went and body blocked the small camp once again. The Creepwave's right in front of the Tide Hunter, and as long as Lion prevents that pull from occurring, he's going to be able to play the lane. Like, Disruptor Troll, they're so strong as a duo because if they use their spells like in front of their tower, they're going to be able to chase down the entire lane and then maybe get the kill. But when you got a Tide Hunter who's already got a wand, double gauntlet of strength, like, he's not really going to die as long as the wave's here. So yeah, just Chu really heads up, just making sure the pulls can't occur. He might die though for it.
This time Chu stepped a bit far though. They do have the mango fed over to Yotoro, and that is going to be enough. He was a little bit low on mana, but Maposhka had plenty of mangoes to
always
both himself and give it away. And they're going to ignore the creep wave that is pushing into their tower to keep on going onto Enmar here. This, I mean, if they don't get this kill, this is a huge loss, but it looks like they might be able to with the kinetic field. He's just doing no damage, and now Chu's back into the mix.
Still at the one.
Miposhka, he's fully committed. They were hoping for a glimpse to send back Chu to base. Doesn't quite get it. That was a creep wave and a half that Yotaro just missed for not getting the kill on Tidehunter. T, was that worth it?
I mean, if they got the kill for sure, but I think realistically, when he's got the wand, 8 charges, like, realistically, no. Just go for the creep wave. Like, you killed the Lion, you've got the lane back to your tower. That's kind of the main thing there. Like, I just praised Chu on keeping the lane in a good position. They finally punish him. Accept that, get the wave into your tower, get the pull off, you know, start playing chill. But either way, they get back to the lane, and they're going to now have to kind of recover from the fact they did lose a creep wave and a half.
Oh, collapse. Barely missing a spear in bottom lane that might have actually gotten the kill. They are owning this bottom lane. Collapse Mars, we've talked about it last time. We managed to view Team Spirit. This is just iconic for him. He's so good at Mars that they're willing to pick it for him despite Mars's terrible win rate right now. And he's certainly showing it. He's going to go ahead and throw another spear. Doesn't quite latch, but it doesn't matter. Fishman's always going to be there, ready to go. But having the grace, they're going to try and burst down Mira. Mira gets a little bit too far forward, or maybe it was just far enough forward. He survives with 25 HP after the dive away.
Also, today is the day where Mars is starting to win. Liquid earlier today played against Empire and got a victory. Virtus Pro just beat Tundra with it as well. Spoilers, by the way. So that is now, I think it's like 2 out of 11 games for the
yes,
for the Mars.
He went from 0 wins, and now he's got 2 games out of 12.
12. Oh, there! Look at that. Oof, that's a great one. Is anyone still on 0%? Let me double check. Oh, okay. We got Rubik on 0%.
Yes, Kunkka 0 and 8.
Oh, that's naughty.
Nice pickup on Chrysalis. Fishman just did not have another round of purification. The damage is just too much from this dual lane that even an Omni Knight can't keep up. An Omni Knight, certainly one of the bigger winners of the patch. A favored 5 position, one of the most picked heroes as well, and a pretty decent win rate.
Yeah, the thing about Omni Knight Sven lane is very good at surviving, as we see Miposhka potentially going down here. Oh, yep, he's going to die now. Bye-bye.
Throws out the Sonic Wave, just enough damage for Chu to finish him. Miposhka is going to try and cost Chu as much time as humanly possible before he goes down. It does mean Hansha is going to be back into lane with like no health and no mana. So Toronto Tokyo, look at him, tanking up the tower, going to use his illusion to do so. He's trying to kill the siege creep as quick as possible so the creep wave will push in and his siege creep will survive, and it does. Hey, that's another 100 damage at least. Nicely done.
Easy. But yeah, going back to the idea of Sven Omni, it's like it's a lane where you kind of survive. You're never really killing anything, and I think that's why Spirit, with confidence, double picked the Mars Phoenix. Right, it is this aggressive lane. It's going to be able to poke and just constantly annoy and bully. And Creepwave, I think the natural fix to this is by making stacks. So as you see here, Chu's already making the stacks in the top side of the jungle. As right now, Chrysalis, he's probably around about a minute away from going, guys, I need to get out of this lane. I need to farm something. He's rushed the Morbid. He's accepted that the jungle will be his best friend very shortly.
It's the 2021 version of Spectre Warlock, you know?
Yeah,
you're just there
exactly.
to endure and try and get as much CS as possible before you go and do something else.
Yeah, Fishman's pumped up so many salves as well.
Maybe they're done with enduring, T. They're going to rotate Chu over here and see if they can maybe pick up a kill. It's going to be hard.
It's about
Mars
to get
is
level
pretty
6,
tanky.
yeah. He's actually 1 creep away from level 6.
Oh, yeah, he's going to go for it. He immediately spears up Fishman. Fishman is going to be... Oh, he doesn't get off the hand of the Grace in time. Nice 2-man impale, though. Mira still has his dive, so they can't go for the Phoenix. And Collapse, he's too tanky. They can't go for him either. Despite the rotation, it's Team Spirit who walk away with the kill.
Yeah. The best thing out of this from Creepwave is the fact that they used all their resources on Spirit, and potentially the catapult should die to just Chrysalis standing near the wave. So there isn't going to be that instant tower pressure that you might get from like killing the Sven into then taking tower Sven TPs away. So honestly, not the worst. Like that lane was already a disaster. So the fact that only Omni Knight dies there, that's pretty chill.
Miposhka, with his haste rune, didn't manage to get the kill on Hansha, but he does manage to kill his courier at least, and he's going to continue to play around here. A little bit of battle that Miposhka apparently just doesn't care about. They've got some nice aggressive wards down on both sides here.
Oh, Miposhka, he thought there was a ward because he's like, wait, Chu's going to hit me instantly after turning this tree. and he assumes it's the high ground, but instead puts on the low ground, which means his ward he just placed will get dewarded.
Well, at least they know about this rotation from Hansha.
No, that's true.
Anyway, like like if a ward survives for just 30 seconds, but it does see an incoming mid rotation, do you think that's worth it?
Early, I'd actually argue no early on. I feel like in the early part of the game, that should be your support kind of tanking that play. And realistically, like the 30-second wards, that is best when it's a high ground 30-minute fight that decides the game. Vision is pretty critical.
Well, maybe it's even better if they do manage to get a carry kill instead of just dodging the gank that was coming in from the Queen of Pain. And thanks to the rotation from Toronto Tokyo, they get just that.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising still seeing Sven in the bot lane, like especially how well Mars and Phoenix did at bullying him. Like you would assume he'd try and move away to farm, you know, the deep parts of the jungle a little bit earlier. But then now he's died. This is during this respawn, he then gets to reflect. It's like, is bot lane the best place for me? And he's probably going to answer no. Yeah, as you see there, TPing to go deep part of the jungle and to start getting himself a game. But really nice vision already set up by Spirit. They've got this double deep jungle ward, one here and one there. Therefore, they might even look to smoke up, you know, Void Spirit plus Disruptor when he gets 6, or even the Mars to try and cut through and kill him once more.
You know, with the rise of Tundra, for example, you know, last meta they were doing the 4-position Tidehunter. Seems to be still sticking with it this patch. ATF is totally free farm in the top lane. How valuable is a Tidehunter with this amount of farm? Because, you know, after watching Snaking, I just feel like, you actually maybe don't need to put that much farm on a Tide.
I think right now...
If it's 4.
No, yeah, for sure. But, like, I think it's the type of hero where if it does have this complete amount of free farm, the way in which you unlock the game with it is you have to park yourself in front of the tower that you truly want to defend, right? So when Spirit take this tower, bottom tower for free and then move to mid, I want to see ATF move into that lane and just waste 2, 3, 4 minutes of time, which allows Sven to farm. So like these pos 4 tides, these offlane tides, like even with one item too, like they're going to be able to just AFK in front of the tower. And he actually comes into bottom.
He's here and he's late. And he's going to be sent right back to where he came from.
Go back to farming, bud. Yeah, this is not your time to defend the tower. Yeah, like I didn't expect them to actually try and make a play bottom because they spent so much time, you know, allowing the tower to be hit. But now they come into mid. I'd love to see ATF just instantly run to mid and expect that natural movement of take objective into smoke. Like this is kind of very methodical, kind of textbook Dota from Spirit right now. And I'd love to see, you know, the heads up from ATF.
Oh, nice, he's trying to go for the close range Aether Remnant, but Hansha was ready to go with the blink back now. Fishman is going to be pulled back into the kinetic field, but ATF is now here. As you said, he was making his way over, and now he's going to plant himself here in this mid lane. He's a level 10 Tidehunter with a Hood of Defiance. He's daring Team Spirit to try and fight him.
Just clicking on all the heroes, seeing what they have in their sticky, and for some reason, Creepwave, you know, the cool kids on the block, Tidehunter has a Rapier, and Sven has bots too. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's a whole new. That's such a Zoomer thing, right? It's all the in craze. Got to slap in like the weirdest item. I use that for. I think it's TP for me. That's pretty helpful.
Yeah, that's what normal people do.
Yes.
TP.
You should put like a.
But you know, sometimes you just need to quick buy a Divine Rapier.
Oh yeah, you know, in those critical, you know, late game moments. The best one's having Mantle of Intelligence. You know, you can ping that when you make a bad play because you need to, you know, more intelligence, more brain power.
That's smart. That's smart. That's a good meme right there. Creepwave is going to find themselves a kill on the captain of Maposhka. A quick jaunt into the jungle before they head back to mid lane, where ATF is currently trying to pressure the mid tower, but you can see Toronto Tokyo really doesn't want to let that happen. But he also doesn't want to fight the Tidehunter. He tries to pull the creep wave, doesn't quite work though.
Yeah, a little bit surprised, I guess, Spirit aren't looking to defend this, but I guess they're respecting, you know, the Ravage, the Hood on the Tidehunter, and the fact that Sven did pop ultimate. Maybe they try and get an exit kill, but it's a Tidehunter with Hood.
And they did get a deny on the towers, so...
No, pretty good. Yeah,
they're going to try and glimpse him back here with the 5 heroes, but it's not quite good enough. The spear back, but again, not quite good enough. Doesn't actually latch to the wall, and it's not like they can go with... Like, going on a Tidehunter is hard enough. Going on a Tidehunter with an Omni Knight behind him with 3 levels of Heavenly Grace, that's just... It seems silly. It seems pointless.
Yeah, and this is the nice thing about the hero, right? If you have that enabler behind, be it a hero that has sustain or a hero that has extra stun, like you are able to just kind of run up freely. Like Spirit, when you think of their early damage, they don't really have it. Like their draft is all about kite. When you see a first phase Sven, they're picking Void Spirit so you can dissimulate away, the Phoenix so you can egg after Sven's initiation, Troll the Battle Trance, and Mars, Arena, and Spear. Like they're not picking heroes to 100 to 0 him. They're trying to like prolong the God Strength to then fight after, and I think that's kind of the repercussions they're facing right now as they look at this kind of raid boss Tidehunter just waddling around the map doing whatever he wants right now.
So what do you do if you're Team Spirit's side, right? Creepwave, obviously, they're just going to kind of plant this hero, play around it, get objectives around it like they did with the mid tower. What is your response if you're Team Spirit?
Well, I like what they're doing right now. Just try and disconnect yourself from your carry, get into the middle of the jungle, maybe find a kill. Ideally not give Chrysalis an exit kill. But yeah, just kind of just force Creepwave to move around. Like we mentioned how Tidehunter is really potent right now, but that's because he's standing in like these re-fortified areas around towers. But a Spirit, they can cut through that, get the pickoffs. Creepwave are going to feel a little bit disconnected. They mentioned it on the panel, the idea that Tidehunter and Sven, they want to farm the same area of the map. But that's if the map's small. If they take these early towers, you then are able to just farm that extra third of the map and it feels a lot more comfortable. So kind of Spirit, like they just did, they need to try and cut through. But they have a 2k lead, so it's not really that bad.
Yeah, they've just been very efficient playing the sides of the map as you were talking about, trying to push and pull Creepwave apart from the 5-man. That is their natural disposition. They just kind of want to be able to take a 5-on-5, but Team Spirit hasn't given it to him just yet. And Spirit is just looking for those singular pickoffs, those 3-on-1 ganks. And that is potentially what we're going to see here on Chrysalis, but Chrysalis seems to be pretty wise to just not being greedy and farming that next bit of a wave.
Yeah, ever since that death at the 9-minute mark in his own jungle, he has drastically improved on kind of reading the map and where Spirit's going to be. And also, I think Fishman, like if you look at the minimap right now, there is not a single aggressive ward from Team Spirit. He's been able to expertly find these deep wards that Spirit have placed, which has allowed them now just to play a much more confident game because they have that clean line of 3 Radiant wards. If you want to enter our jungle, you're going to have to waste a smoke for it, or we're going to already be there with a hero.
I may have missed it, but I would love to see the camp stacks. Because I feel like that's where a bit of Team Spirit's lead is coming from right now, is that they've been a little bit more efficient in stacking camps, but obviously Creepwave have at least been stacking the Ancients over and over again for Sven when they can.
I believe Chu's got at least maybe 5 or 6, I would assume, by now, based on the early Ancients that he's been doing. But I haven't seen the graphic as of yet.
Yules into Kaya for our Toronto-Tokyo Void Spirit. Probably going to go the Sanj Kaya build. Maposhka just kind of following him around because they are a 2-man killing team. Lead off with the initiation, follow up with the Static Storm. They can kill pretty much anything that's not Tidehunter.
Yeah, I think Spirit right now, they're accepting the fact that they don't need to be too proactive. I remember in a series they played yesterday, they were the ones being the aggressors from minute 15 to like 25, and they kind of failed every move they made, which meant the game, like the whole map felt super small. And I think they're kind of feeling that in this game, where they're losing their aggressive vision because they keep kind of ping-ponging from bot to bot, and they're slowing it down a bit more, which is like, if they play with just Disruptive Void Spirit, if they die, the net gain from that is Mars Troll are going to continue, leading the net worth. So I like the fact that since yesterday, they have improved their way in which they want to, find farm on the map, but also try and have this kind of indirect pressure. Like this bottom part of the map right now, in different games, you might have a hero on Creepwave just standing idle here, waiting for it to come in, but they're just playing super patient. They're hitting the creeps here, waiting, and they're taking away a third of the map from Creepwave just through just not showing.
Which team do you feel like needs to make the move then at that point? If you think Team Spirit is getting that extra bit of edge out of bottom lane, do you think that it's kind of important for Creepwave to shake something up here, as they are going to do that? They're going to smoke, Chu, Hansha. They're going to make this move to bottom lane. They know Team Spirit has been setting up here for a bit, so it's all important to be able to get the right initiation, and they would be playing into Team Spirit's vision, but
I think Spirit, they're happy taking this game, to 40, 50 minutes plus. They've got all the kite, and items will enable that. Creepwave, once they get the BKBs on the Quap, the Sven, that's when they have to, turn up into the game. They need to try and, punish the Mars, punish the Phoenix, because BKBs will fully mitigate their entry into the fight. And they finally, through all the patience of only showing Void Spirit bottom, they are eventually going to kill off Hantra in the bot lane. So,
Yeah, and Chu, he's going to follow it up, but it's just, unless they're going to blow Ravage, in which case I don't even think that would kill the Void Spirit here. They're going to go for it. He's still got Yules. He's still got Resonant Pulse. He lives with a little bit longer. Oh, but he doesn't get off the Yules, and he gets caught by the Earth Spike. He dodges that, and he would have had to jump away coming up. The Astral Step was just a couple seconds away. Still, though, that exchange, favorable for Team Spirit. A one-for-one trade-off through the mids, but at the same time, Team Spirit did even out. They actually got that mid-tier 1 tower.
I love Crystal. He's trying to go for the, hit that one more time, I dare you. And this is the best use of the pig ball that I've seen so far at ESL One Fall, where he's simply moving from the river to the high ground. Great stuff. What a pointless item.
You don't like the pig pole?
Mate, I've tried it, all right? I've been baited by it. I turn myself into a little piggy. I start running around, and then there's a guy TPing around the corner. I'm like, what? I'm a pig. I can't. It's a shame. Like 10% move speed is a bait, right?
The movement speed buff isn't like quite enough to usually get you out of the sticky situations that you wanted to. So yeah, it feels like Toys Tumbler is just a better version.
Oh, that's a banging item. Like if you play like Bane or something, and you're just trying to get that Nightmare off, that extra little 300, oof, it's good. But for the pig pole, don't make it 10%. Make it 50. You know what? Make it broken. Give it like 100, 200 move speed. Let's get that piggy flying.
Oof.
Good blink.
They can still get him. Look at the position of Collapse. He had positioned himself farther forward, so if ATF did blink backwards, they were going to be able to get the vision, get the glimpse back, get the kill on the big team fight hero, and now Team Spirit, just like a damn bust loose, they're just going to swarm in. Just push in, take whatever map control they can get at this point in time, get some nice aggressive vision down, because Creepwave is not going to be willing to fight them without the tide.
Yeah, that's when the game kind of gets to that stalemate where both teams are trying to farm in the same style, where it's like Tide by himself, Sven playing behind, then Spirit, they see through. It's like, well, we've got a BKB on Mars now. We don't really need to be, we don't have to be scared of this Tide Hunter anymore. We know how they're playing, and that's why they cut through, get the kill. And I think Sven, he just completed his BKB. So this is a pretty big timing now, where you got Tide Hunter with the Blink Dagger, Quap with the BKB, Sven with the BKB. Like if they get a good smoke with vision advantage, they might be able to instantly execute the Disruptor, maybe cut through and kill the egg as well. And I like this from them. I like the fact that in this type of game where it's been so stale, it's super hard for Creepwave to move into an open area, deward efficiently, and then take the fight. But around Roshan, it's pretty easy to get up the wards, and they poke their heads in, maybe trying to bait out a scan, and then smoke out after. So they're trying to make these like intricate small plays in the hope to continue to bait, but I honestly feel like they could have just stayed and hit Roshan. Like, just hold the area, get your own vision there, fortify this small part of the map, and just use your BKBs.
Gonna try and go for the kill on the Collapse instead. The smoke rotation looking very similar to what Team Spirit did just a minute ago. Netting that kill with a God Strength being popped and a BKB. They want more out of this, and they're gonna try and do Roshan. But at the same time, the glimpse back is gonna make sure that Fishman is in some trouble. Now, ATF is on his way, and at the sight of the green watermelon, they're gonna have to back up. Toronto Tokyo. Haste Rune looking to just kind of hamper Creepwave as they try and run back. They're going to go for the kill once again on the Fishman, but he's a bit tanky. They don't quite have the burst damage to be able to bring him down, especially as Creepwave continues to protect their back line where they can. But it was enough. It was enough to stop them from doing Roshan.
Yeah, now Godstrength's out. So with Creepwave going for that kind of long wraparound smoke play into mid, excellent pickoff on the Mars. I didn't realize Lion had the Blink Dagger, which simplified that engagement. It's now Spirit's choice where if they want to group up and smoke and look to find a kill, they easily can. Without that God Strength, without, that immense amount of, carry presence, they might even be able to take it themselves.
The BKB as well, right? That's still on cooldown for 10. If they were to make that fast smoke move you're talking about, they could potentially have found a fight with a BKB on cooldown. But instead, no smoke right now. They're just going to push into the enemy jungle, pushed out the mid lane as well into the tier 2. They kind of understand where Creepwave is at, but are opting not to take that team fight, at least not right now.
Yeah, Spirit really is kind of changing up how they're playing since yesterday. Like yesterday, this would have been like a smoke right into the enemy triangle, see what happens. They got the lead, but now they're playing in an area, like if you look at the minimap, look how many sentries have been used in this kind of bottom quarter of the map. Like they are playing in an area where they feel comfortable. Now Creepwave, they're the team that are now going from an area that they're controlling in the hope just to find and barrel into Spirit. But a nice smoke break from Collapse.
Collapse broke the smoke already, so it's not even going to work out for Creepwave. No surprise whatsoever on the side of Team Spirit. They very cleanly retreat, and now they know the top half of the map is totally free. So both of their cores, they swarm up there. Yotoro's going to take the jungle. But Toronto Tokyo is going to take the lane.
But is it safe though? Like when you're playing this quick around the map, this lingering vision is very strong. And Creepwave have that Radiant Ward, really heads up play from Yotaro to move away, but he's still... Nah, he shouldn't be allowed to die. Yeah, he's not dying here. Collapse is really well positioned.
Yeah, I mean, how fast that move happened
this
for
is very
Team Spirit,
quick.
That was a lot of respect, right? Yeah. They TP top lane, pushed the wave, took the jungle, backed off. They weren't greedy with it at all. Yeah,
both teams having really heads-up play on like where they're moving. Like, really trying to move around the map quickly.
Look at this. That's a double damage T. That is going to be a faster Roshan than Team Spirit were probably expecting.
All right, actually, this is a legitimate question here, or an idea. Do you feel that DDs should only ever spawn on one side of the river, maybe away from Roshan? Just be like, like the fact that, I'm not saying like realistically any other rune, maybe Creepwave still go for that, but the fact that the DD is so delicately positioned at the foot of Roshan.
Well, dear old Nahaz always wanted it to double damage. The effect did not work on Roshan.
Oh.
What do you think about that one?
It does check out in logic. I'm just trying to work out if that just sounds counterintuitive. It's a DD. It's meant to double your damage, but the fact that it spawns 2 feet away from Roshan, maybe. I think I like the idea of it hitting Roshan. I respect that being a basic gameplay, but just the position of the rune's a little bit cheeky,
Yeah, they certainly are. But it does mean it's just more important to be able to control that side of the map. And something that Team Spirit, we've talked about with their change of playstyle, they have been more willing to just work their way around Creepwave and been more willing to just play for the farm game of this bottom half side of the map, just be out efficiency, basically. With the 6,000 net worth lead, you could see it's paying off, and they are still going to go for a smoke gank here.
20 seconds.
They saw the Lion show himself bottom lane, but look at the Lion. He makes the same read. Chu says, I'm going to need to get back to my team stat. The smoke is going to break, and they're not quite going to find the initiation they're hoping for. If anything, Mira might be in a little bit of trouble here. The Ravage is going to go down, and the burst damage is just enough. Phoenix dead, no buyback to rejoin this fight, so Team Spirit back away.
The reaction from Mira there to get off the Yules, I was maybe expecting Spirit to try and layer in, but I think they just realized they should cut their losses, except the fact that they're probably running into the entirety of Creepwave there. And I like the audacity from them. They don't have the Aegis, but Sven, he has got time from cooldown because you assume if they're taking Roshan, he's had to use it. So Spirit's still playing as if they have an advantage, but then they fall victim to the fact that they do just bump into them into an area where they don't have the control. Yeah, as we see here. Yeah. So Yotaro's smoked in. Hancher then on the ward sees him there. And then look at this. Yes, look pretty good. And potentially here, Collapse could cover him with an arena, some spear, but realistically, you're hoping for them not to press their BKB and then just to run over you. So yeah, I respect the fact that they didn't actually commit to that fight. Because they don't need to feel pressured on Spirit. Once again, even though Creepwave has the Aegis, we've seen time and time again these Svens where they get kited out going into the late game, and Spirit is yet to take a big fight.
Toronto Tokyo going to be covered by Maposhka. Just making sure that there's no chance of his mid laner getting bursted down. But Chrysalis is going to just charge forward. After all, he does have BKB, Gaunt's Strength, and an Aegis. Team Spirit, I'm not so sure they want to be able to take this fight. Collapse, he doesn't really have much of an option. He has to be able to get away from Chrysalis, but he just cannot do it. Sticks on top of him, does manage to get a nice support trap that locks down Bolt for Toronto Tokyo to clean him up. And that is going to be the first life of the Sven when he comes back. No BKB, no Gaunt's Strength, and Yotaro, he's got his BKB, and they realize that too. Look at that. They managed to jump forward, leave the Sven just for Yotaro, and Toronto Tokyo gets the +1, or rather, the +4. They managed to get 4 kills off of that one. Toronto Tokyo with the 4th kill onto Hansha.
Yeah, the reason why that fight went so well is, one, your Mars is over farmed, where he has this like BKB, this nullify, he's able to survive a little bit longer, but also this outpost control. Phoenix was showing top at the very start of that fight, so Creepwave, they are playing with the confidence of Phoenix is top, just go in, we have advantage. But he instantly TPs in, as we see the highlight here. So yeah, they go into collapse, he doesn't really care, he's shrugging off this initial damage. You see Phoenix then TPing onto the outpost, and then because of that BKB dodging the Earth Spike, that fight is completely now turning around. They're all isolated in. Disruptor has that immense value of Static Storm on top of Omni Knight, and they're going to fall victim to the fact that Sven, going into the later portion of the game with just a BKB, he is going to be kited out by the heroes of, Phoenix, Troll specifically, and it's a difficult game for Sven unless he 100-0 someone.
Yeah. Well, that is something that the two supports, that team fight, the two supports on the side of Creepwave, they're probably going to be a little bit more careful about following in Crystallis, because once they lose their support, so much power on the side of Creepwave goes down, because, the constant Heavenly Grace is what makes Crystallis so strong in these team fights, and the disables are allowing him to pump out the damage.
Just look at the items, like Fishman and Chu both going for an 8 for them. It's like, oh, guys, we can't be in the arena. We can't be in the Static Storm. So they are buying the items for this, and we might even see Fishman go for like a Force or a Blink himself, just to have that extra little bit of distance away from him.
Next Roshan, not for another potential 3 minutes. So Creepwave, they don't really have a exact objective to go for right now. They probably don't feel quite strong enough to try and take a tier 2 or anything like that. So it's very likely just going to turn into a farming game for the next couple of minutes, as certainly that's what Team Spirit seem to be comfortable with. They seem to be very confident in their late game.
Yeah, I feel like Crystallis right now is kind of hampering his game without buying a Blink Dagger. We saw Alliance earlier when Nika Baby played. Even though you weren't able to win the game, the disruptive value of the Blink, where he's able to cut in and kill off these like squishier heroes that are unlocking the fight, like it is so good. And I think right now for Crystallis, like he can't take a fight when he runs in purely with BKB, because then the Troll pops ultimate, everyone dives away. But if he jumps in with the burst, he has a Daedalus, he has the Echo Saber, he can easily blow up these Phoenixes, these disruptors within the pure, like the stun itself. So I think right now the game is difficult simply because they're scared to take a fight, and that is just the missing Blink.
Yeah, and with melee barracks down at bottom lane, it just means that Team Spirit are just naturally going to have better map control. They're still going to try and take this team fight, though. The Yule's into the Aether Remnant. The Earth Spike doesn't quite land, and Crystallis is now going to be having just a swarm of disables put on him, and it's not enough for Fishman to be able to leave. They both die, as now Team Spirit can push for a second high ground, and Creepwave does not have the buybacks to defend this. So this could, 2 lanes of barracks, guaranteed. I don't know if Creepwave wants to keep fighting the tier 4 that last lane.
Yeah, dude, no. Go test the buyback. Go on. If this was a pub, your tire right now would be tickling those tier 4s.
Yeah. Let's see if Team Spirit are going to just give them another life. They are. They just be like, okay, maybe they have buyback. Let's back up. They can't go, obviously, for a third set of barracks. The tier 1 is still alive in the top lane. So
yeah, the key thing here, this game, this series, it's all about tournament life. As we see here, Crystallis trying to hold the BKB as long as possible. And then, of course, the Static Storm comes in, connects it. Doesn't press the BKB. I believe when you get Yulesed up...
Maposhka has the
does he have
Ags
Ags? Okay, I was going to say, like, if he didn't have the Ags there, he should be able to get the BKB. So, but yeah, just straight rushing the Ags there. That's such a filthy build. You forgo having Glimmers and Force and Utility, but you just go for the Ags. Like, this game was so slow and methodical from both teams that it allows your teams to greed up, because you're not taking these constant cheap fights. Like, both teams subscribe to just AFK farm.
Hey, and there's the second Static Storm that's about to be laid down for a Tidehunter pickoff. Creepwave, I feel like they've been keeping up in some ways with Team Spirit for the first 25 minutes of the game, but now pickoffs after pickoffs, and this lead is seriously extending itself for Team Spirit.
Yeah, well, you see from the moves from Creepwave, like when they first poked their head into Roshan, and then they started running bot, like they made a lot of massive map movements, and that means that you're naturally not farming creeps. You're going to be at a slight disadvantage, and I think they were just always scared to initiate, because I don't want to harp on it too much, but I feel like the Sven not having Blink Dagger, it does complicate your ability to initiate.
Immediately, Chu gonna get blown up by Toronto Tokyo. He knew it was gonna be worth it. Now Collapse is gonna be traded out. No, Mira
so
actually
much
gets
damage.
bursted down there. One con strength hit is all it takes, and they didn't have Yutoro anywhere near that team fight. So Team Spirit just cutting their losses where they can. A small victory for Creepwave.
And Roshan's up.
But is it going? Oh, yes, an
Look
early
at that.
Roshan, so it's going to net a little bit more. It is going to be a buyback from Mira, but they don't have one on Collapse.
Yeah, this is where you've lost 2 racks on Creepwave. So like, if you hadn't lost a racks, then running into his pretty chill. But Hanch is already, trying to push out these 2 waves. But you see here, like, Collapse is by the tier 2. Spirit just isn't in position to take this fight. And this is the perfect showcase of how much damage a Sven can do. And it is why it is so strong right now. Look at that. That's like am I blind? Is that 12 or 1700 crit? That was a big old crit. I can't see. I'm an old man. But either way, that Phoenix, 100-0.
Yeah. Hey, we've got the AoE Shadow Strike talent now for Hanja. I've wanted to see this one in action. All the games that I've watched of Queen of Pain, she hasn't actually gotten to 20. So, because now with the heal that you get off of it, the AoE has a bit more impact. So I was very curious to see it in action and see how good it looked.
It could look pretty cute. Does the heal work on the creeps as well? Or is it only heroes that the heal works on? It heals 50% on
creeps
creeps.
heal
Okay,
for half the damage.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, top lane, they are going to go for that fight. The Ravage, they're going to use everything they have to be able to burst down Collapse. But this time around, Yutoro is here. This time around, they're going to try and go for the glimpse back onto Crystallis. They go ahead and pop that ultimate, but Yutoro's not going to slow down one bit. After all, underneath the Supernova, Crystallis is eventually going to run out of time here as Fishman could only extend his life for so long with the Guardian Angel. Nice dive forward there from Mira. Is going to be able to find a +1. Now ATF was on the other side of things. He's going to try and punish Mira as best as possible, but he doesn't have the damage. Yutoro will quickly chop that watermelon up to smaller pieces, more digestible. Like a nice little picnic snack. That actually sounds quite nice right now. In Team Spirit, and is very likely going to be a push to end the game now.
Yeah, the fact that Sven doesn't have buyback there. If you click on the Sven, he did actually decide to go for the blink at the very end, but the fight setup here from Creepwave, it's just a little bit too late. And now you're going to see Team Spirit just kind of walking on in with their... It's an unkillable control at this point.
He really is. And he still has room to grow as well. That's even the scary part. He's not quite level 25, too.
And then you can buy the axe as well to dispel things. And then, there's so much more room for Spirit to grow here. But they don't need that as they hit the final racks here. Creepwave, they are going to be able to somewhat deal with Mega Creeps if Spirit decides to, show them some respect here and back out. Because after this Mega Creeps, they should just be looking to go for Roshan, but...
Orchid, they're going to try and burst down the troll, and
Look at that.
do have him.
Ooh!
Okay, the Blink Dagger actually working out in time for Crystallis, and they managed to keep a range barracks alive, rather, on 200 health.
I mean, there it is. When you can finally get the item, it's going to do work. He's now slaying the game. Well, at least
Toronto Tokyo and Collapse go back into the fight. The Creepwave will happily take. They're like, we still have God Strength going. Like, you can kill Fishman if we want. He's a creep after all.
Run him down.
Getting a trade-off for all of these kills is really good for Team Spirit. Isn't enough for Creepwave. Isn't enough for them to actually turn around the game. I don't know. But it's a start. It's a start.
It is a start. And the main thing here is Spirit. They're not going to be able to contest Roshan. Exactly, right? Like, that respawned just before Spirit was even looking to go for the tier 3's top. And now they're in that position where they're going to have to give it away. Like, there's no way they're going to buy back here and try and fight, because suddenly if they lose that fight again, being only at best 3v4, 3v5, this should just be a free Roshan if they bring all the heroes.
Crystallis, I was about to say, Crystallis isn't strong enough by himself, so they're going to bring the whole crew coming in, so we're going to watch that replay again. The burst of the troll, starting off with the Orchid, not letting him get off the BKB in time thanks to the Lion disables, and you could see harsh reaction from Toronto Tokyo as they are going to be able to get the Aegis and Shard. So who's an important Shard pickup here? I don't know.
Sven instantly chomps it. Yeah, he's like, that's mine. No, sorry. That's the thing with Dota, right? Core's instantly like, yeah, my shard's the best. I'm the core. But to be fair, though, yeah, I think in this game, you do want to have some more stuns. And, of course, the shard on Sven does reduce that cooldown by 4. So that's pretty good.
What about the new Hammer of Purity?
You're right, that's the same argument as
T-Gov.
back when Nyx Assassin used to break on Vendetta. It was very good. No. In what world does the Nyx Assassin get to right-click the Bristleback to get the kill? Same thing with the Omni Knight.
Yeah.
Now, Cap. Now.
I hate this change.
Yeah.
Also, don't get me started on
sad.
Dazzle. I don't know what they did to Dazzle. I don't know why they did that to Dazzle, but I hate it. It actually makes me so angry. And this Hammer of Purity also makes me angry. Because Hammer of Purity actually gave Omni Knight a chance to be a core.
Dude, that was
and
such a good build. Like,
oh, no.
S and Y. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. And then they're like, oh no, it has to be a support upgrade.
And in what world does a support right-click the hero? Like, he has to play Aether Lens range.
He's building an Aether Lens specifically to stay as far back in a team fight as humanly possible. Like, he's the exact opposite of wanting to go.
If anything, this is Valve teasing, right? They're teasing.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to be a core, huh? Yeah, you want to be a core? You want to do some a little less damage? Like, Mage Slayer was a terrible item. You know why? Because people don't stick on a target and, prevent that damage. The concept of, reducing damage isn't good if it's, forced into a single right-click on a long cooldown. Yeah. Oh, well. Poor Omni Knight. Your shard did get slaughtered. But there is a play where Anti-Mage and Omni, they could all stack it up on one hero.
True. And one Leshrac starts doing 5 damage apiece.
Wow, that would be crazy. And then the other 4 heroes just kill you. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. 11,000 net worth, so Team Spirit's getting a little bit sloppy in the quest to end the game, but they still obviously have a huge advantage, and I bet Dota Plus is still not giving... Yeah, I was about to say, it's not going to give them much of a window. It's only 2%.
And the main reason because of that is if you look at all the items across Spirit, right? You got Collapse with the BKB, the Nullify. He's happy. He can play the rest of the game. Mira's got that refresher, so as long as he gets the first egg off, he's going to be able to get the second, because Creepwave doesn't really have the egg hitter outside of maybe a Queen of Pain. The Wind Waker, they're kitted out to play the game. The reason why it's so close is because Creepwave has showcased when the Sven gets the Blink Dagger, they get the jump, when they have the good vision at their base specifically, they're gonna be able to blow up Spirit. And of course, I think Spirit played a little bit relaxed where Collapsed. He's died a couple of times now by himself, so we commended them early on in their methodical execution, but after you take 2 racks, you get a little bit sloppy, you get a bit comfortable. It does give that small window, but for sure, this is still very much Spirit's game. And they can do whatever they want. Creepwave, they have to hope that Spirit once again kind of run up high ground without the cohesiveness that they've shown earlier on.
Yeah, it's just look at Mira, I think, as a good example of what every team fight should look like. He's got Refresher and he's got Shard. Yeah. So every fight should have double egg plus a Sunray on it. So if Team Spirit actually gets off abilities first, Creepwave has no chance of winning that fight. So it's entirely up to Creepwave. They've just got this sliver of a chance. It's entirely about being able to find the right initiation and bursting a hero down. Whether that is going to be the Troll, which is great. That's obviously the best target. But even in killing the Phoenix and trying to kite back to their base or something like that, it's pretty much their only chance of victory in a team fight.
Just trying to check. The neutral item, the cap on Mars, is that also dispellable? Or is that separate instance where it's just you get status resistance as not a buff per se? It just kind of adds to your actual stats. So that'd be interesting because Sven and all these heroes have dispels already built into their heroes now.
Yeah, I don't know how this item works exactly. I played against it, but I haven't gotten to use it yet.
Huh. Also, fun fact.
Storm, they're going to try and burst down ATF, and it is just enough damage thanks to the Sunray adding that percentage.
Does
They've
have
got
buyback.
A killer pick-off combo, and he does have buyback, but Creepwave are obviously going to try and hold on to that if possible. Team Spirit, though, may not give them that chance. I'm expecting them to kind of poke at top lane and see if they could force a buyback.
Yeah, this is pretty much Spirit's game now. It's just try and find the hero that's just on the edge of the steps, get the kill, reset. Maybe a player gets a little bit angsty and instantly buys back to go fight for fight, we can do it. But yeah, discipline from ATF there, not doing that.
It's always worse when your initiator is the one who has to buy back because you don't get that clean, okay, initiate, I'm going to buy back TPN, because it's just He buys back, he starts TPing in or tries to run out and blink. It's like you've already given Team Spirit so much time to reset, back up, or even just be ready for the team fight.
Ooh.
Okay, BKB and finish out the range barracks.
Yep, very nice.
All right. Mega creeps it is. It seems as Creepwave, as you said, they are capable of defending against Megas for a very long time. With Sven, Tidehunter, even the AoE Shadow Strike from Quap will help out in that endeavor quite a bit.
Oh, he's going for a Mjolnir and Quap. That is like the default. Oh, guys, we're against Mega Creeps. Let's buy ourselves some wave clear.
What do you think about the level 25 talent change, by the way, on Tide? Damage versus the 50% anchor smash on attack.
I think I'd always just go for the Ravage stun. Unless I'm some weird hybrid physical damage. I think it's hard to go for the left-hand one.
Tokyo. Going to be able to jump away, and the Wind Waker to Yules himself out of there in a really nice arena. Is going to be able to catch so much of the back line, but Collapse is currently there by himself. He does have the help of Mira, who is burning down some of these heroes and catches them inside of the stun. Now Yotaro is going to join into the team fight with a Static Storm onto 2 as well, and Fishman, he doesn't have any more saves. He cannot bail these 2 cores out. More buybacks are being used, but Team Spirit, they have no lack of damage here. Jumping straight in, Toronto Tokyo gets a little bit too far forward there. Fishman does get burned out. The Supernova, it actually does explode. It dies, and the Queen of Pain manages to jump up to the high ground. Actually, with the double damage, pumping out some damage on him. Miposhka wins that one. Now the question is, can they actually beat down Yotaro, who does have the BKB? He's going to start laying that damage into Hanja. Hanja really hoping he's going to be able to get the blink away. The blink away, it's not going to happen.
You never get away from the
Crystallis now. Yotaro, he's not going to let him get away. They're going to have to buy back. They're going to have to run to Crystallis and see if they can bail him out. But the damage is coming so quick and fast, and Fishman is going to be intercepted by Collapse. He says,
give him the rampage.
Knight, you do not get to be there. Spear in the back. Yotaro has a blink dagger up in a second. He's waiting for it. Blinks away from the Ravage. Says, goodbye, Collapse. Maybe I'll come back and save you. No, maybe not. He wants the rampage. He really wants it. And Mira and Miposhka might be able to help him get it here. Yotaro gets on top of Fishman. And oh, no, the rampage timer ran out.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Sorry. Didn't get a rampage.
Oh.
And you know that style, like Collapse, he was spearing for the rampage. You're like, mate, go get it. You got this, Chief.
Yeah.
Doesn't get it. Unfortunately, no rampage for Yotaro, but, Spirit. Pretty clean game overall. They greed it up. There was